ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ ಮತ್ತೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್ 4 ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತ. ವೆಲ್ಕಮ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್ ಟು ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಸೆಷನ್ 4. The following topics will be discussed in this session: miscellaneous problems on regression equations. On that basis we will be working out 4 problems. Then practice problems will be given and the relationship between correlation and regression will be discussed. Let us start. Worked problem number 1. From the following data, you are required to form two regression equations. Estimate the value of x when y is given as 20 and the value of y when x is given as 25. And finally, find correlation coefficient through regression coefficients. Okay, the data is given like this. You need not compute, you need not prepare a table to find out the things, required things. The data will be given, all the computations will be done, and final answers will be, final figures will be given here. So observe here, x series and y series are two series. Number of pairs of observations 8. 8 observations have been taken from x series and y series. Mean of x series is given as 16, that is x bar, and y bar is 18. Observe here, sum of squares of deviation of series x and series y from their respective means. That means sum of squares of deviations. Sum of squares of deviations taken from x bar and y bar, we call it as small x and small y. And squares of deviations, again we call it as x square, small x square and small y square. Sum of such things means summation of small x square and summation of small y square. Summation of small x square is 40, summation of small y square is 20. Then sum of the products of deviations of series x and series y from their respective means, that is product of deviations small x into small y, their sum means summation of small x and small y is given as 26. Okay, first of all you write down what is given in the problem. So given n equals to 8, x bar, mean of x series 16, mean of y series y bar 18, summation of x square, small x square 40, summation of small y square equals to 20, and summation of small x into small y equals to 20. Now using these values and selecting the required or suitable formula, you have to construct two regression equations, then estimate the value of x when y is given and estimate the value of y when x is given, and finally find out correlation coefficient using regression coefficients byx and bxy. Let us do it. So here on the basis of given information, let us try to construct regression equations. First find out regression coefficients. Regression coefficient of y on x. On the basis of given data, we can take this formula byx equals to summation xy divided by summation x square, which is given as 26 by 40. So divide it, 0.65 is byx. Similarly, find out regression coefficient of x on y. So it is given like bxy equals to summation of xy divided by summation y square. 26 by 20, y square is given as 20, so it will be 1.3. Let us now construct a regression equation of y on x. It is given as y minus y bar equals to byx into x minus x bar. Substitute the values, known values. Y minus 18 equals to 0.65 into x minus 16. Y bar is 18, byx has computed above 0.65 and x bar is 16. So simplifying this, y minus 18 equals to 0.65 into x means 0.65x, plus into minus minus 0.65 into 16 is 10.4. So transpose minus 18 to right hand side like this. It will become plus 18 minus 18 if transposed to right hand side. Other side becomes plus 18. So simplifying this, we get y equals to 0.65 x. So plus 18 minus 10.4. Plus is more. So 18 is more. Therefore plus 7.6. Plus and minus is there. We have to subtract. So plus symbol will be taken as 18 is more. So plus 18 minus 10.4 plus 7.6. Writing this in formal way, y equals to a plus bx form, we can write like this: y equals to 7.6 plus 0.65 x. Let us similarly construct a regression equation x on y. X minus x bar equals to bxy into y minus y bar. Substitute the values. X minus 16 equals to bxy as computed above 1.3 into y minus 18. Simplify this like this. Okay, 1.3 into y, 1.3y plus into minus 1.3 into 18. So it will be 23.4. Now transpose minus 16 from left hand side to right hand side. It will be plus 16. So simplifying this, we get x equals to 1.3y. So here minus 23.4 plus 16. So plus and minus are there. We have to subtract, and minus sign is there for a larger number. Therefore minus 7.4. So writing this in the form of x equals to a plus by, we can write x equals to minus 7.4 plus 1.3y. So this is equation of x on y. Now find out the dependent values when independent values are given. X is given and y is given. So let us do it. When x is given as 25, use y formula, y on x formula. Y equals to 7.6 plus 0.65x. So substitute 25 in the place of x. X ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ 25 ಹಾಕಿ. So 0.65 into 25, it will be 16.25, 16.25. So when x is given as 25, y becomes 23.85 on the basis of the above relationship. Similarly, when y is given as 20, use x formula, x and y formula, x and y formula as x and y equation as computed above, minus 7.4 plus 1.3y. In the place of y, you substitute 20 like this, multiply 1.3 into 20. So minus 7.4 plus 26. So we have to subtract. When y is given as 20, x becomes 18.6. Okay, like this we will arrange the solution. One more thing is left out. We are asked to compute correlation coefficient using regression coefficients. So that will be done like this. So R equals to correlation coefficient equals to b square root of byx into bxy, geometric mean between regression coefficients. So byx as computed above 0.65 and bxy as computed above 1.3. So let us multiply them and find out the square root. Equals to 0.65 into 1.3. So multiply them and find out square root. So correlation coefficient will be 0.9192. Correlation coefficient based on regression coefficients. Regression coefficients ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿಕೊಂಡು correlation coefficient ಅನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಿರಿ ಅಂತಂದಾಗ ಇದೇ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೀವು ಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಗೆ ಹೋಗಬಾರದು. ಓಕೆನಾ? Okay, next worked problem number 2. The data about sales and advertisement expenditure of a firm are given below. Sales rupees in crores and advertisement expenses in rupees lakhs is given. Mean 45, advertisement expense 6. That is mean of advertisement expense 6. Standard deviation is given here. Observe 12 and 1.5 respectively, and correlation coefficient 0.9. Observe here what is given: mean, standard deviation. So you are given direct information. You need not compute standard deviation for this. So in this case, you cannot use summation of xy divided by summation of y square for finding out byx, and summation of xy divided by summation of y square for finding out bxy. Okay, this is different. We have already discussed in about the formula in first session. Okay, let us do it. We are asked to estimate the likely sales for a proposed advertisement expense of rupees 10 lakhs. ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ 10 ಲಕ್ಷ ಆದಾಗ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ದಿ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಇಫ್ ದಿ ಫರ್ಮ್ ಪ್ರಪೋಸಸ್ ಎ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಟಾರ್ಗೆಟ್ ಆಫ್ 60 crores? 60 ಕೋಟಿ ಸೇಲ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಅಡ್ವರ್ಟೈಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಏನಿರಬೇಕು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಿರಿ ಅಂತ ಮತ್ತೆ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇವೆರಡನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ವಿ ನೀಡ್ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಟು ಫೈಂಡ್ ಔಟ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ we are not asked to construct regression equations, but indirectly we need to construct both regression equations to estimate these given values. Okay, let us solve this. First of all, obtain or understand what is given. So let us take sales as x and advertisement expense as y. Given summation, x bar is 45, y bar is 6, standard deviation of x series is given as 12, standard deviation of y series is given as 1.5. we have already mentioned sales has been taken as x and advertisement expenses have been taken as y. Okay, then 0.9 is correlation coefficient, r equals to 0.9. Okay, using these things we have to construct both the regression equations and estimate the sales and advertisements as advertisement expenses when advertisement expenses and sales are given. Okay, let us do it. Let us solve this problem. So as usual, find out regression coefficient y on x. Observe here, standard deviations are given, therefore we are using this formula byx equals to correlation between two series into standard deviation of y divided by standard deviation of x. We have already discussed this formula in our first session itself. Okay, substitute the values. 0.9 into 1.5 is standard deviation of y and 12 is standard deviation of x. Simplifying this, use calculators. 0.1125 is byx. Similarly, find out regression coefficient on x and y. bxy is given as r into standard deviation of x divided by standard deviation of y. Observe here one thing you can remember. If it is bxy, standard deviation of x will be in the numerator and standard deviation of y will be in the denominator. If it is byx, standard deviation of y will be in the numerator and standard deviation of x will be in the denominator. ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, byx ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ y ಅಂಶದಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ x ಛೇದದಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. bxy ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ x ಅಂಶದಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ ಡಿವಿಯೇಷನ್ ಆಫ್ y ಛೇದದಲ್ಲಿರುತ್ತೆ. Okay, r 0.9, standard deviation of x is given as 12 and standard deviation of y is given as 1.5. Substituting them and simplifying this, we get bxy equals to 7.2. Okay, now let us construct a regression equation y on x, substituting all the values. So you know all these things, you have already worked out so many problems on this. I will go faster. Okay, so multiplying 0.1125 and x and 1125 into 45, we will be getting like this, and transposing -6 to right hand side, it will become +6. Simplifying this, we can write y equals to 0.1125x, so +6 and -5.0625 is there. So 6 is having a plus sign, more larger number, and plus and minus are there, therefore we have to subtract. Plus minus iradinda kalkobeku, plus dodda sankhye chinne adrinda plus hakbeku, adu ಈ ರೀತಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 0.9375. So let us write this in a formal way, y equals to a plus bx form. So it will be like this, y equals to 0.9375 plus 0.1125x. Similarly, find out, construct regression equation x on y. So x minus x bar equals to bxy into y minus y bar is the equation formula. X minus 45 equals to 7.2. Observe, bxy is 7.2 into y minus y bar is 6. So simplifying this, we get like this. Then take minus 45 to right hand side, plus 45 it will be. So plus 45 and minus 42, 43.2 is given. So we have to subtract again. 40 plus 45 ಮತ್ತೆ minus 43.2 ಇರೋದ್ರಿಂದ ಕಳಿಬೇಕು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು. X equals to 7.2 y plus 1.8 is the equation. If you want to write it in formal way, x equals to a plus by formula ಆ ರೀತಿ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ x equals to 1.8 plus 7.2y ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. Let us find out the sales when advertisement expenses are given and advertisement expenses when sales are given. So first of all, let us find out when x equals to 60. Sales are given as 60 crores. What will be the advertisement expenses is the question. So for this we have to use y on x formula. So y on x is given as y equals to 0.9375 plus 0.1125x. So substitute 60 in the at the place of x, multiply 1125 into 60, you will get like this. So yeah, y equals to 7.6875. So when sales are 60 crores, advertisement expenses will be 7.6875 lakhs. Similarly, when advertisement expenses are given as 10 lakhs, what will be the sales? So for this we have to use x and y equation. Substitute y value as 10 and simplify, we will be getting x equals to 73.8. That means when advertisement expenses are 10 lakhs, sales will be 73.8 crores. So like this we have to solve. Okay, hope you understood this solution. In this problem, standard deviations are given instead of summation of xy and summation of x square and summation of y square. Therefore, using as per the situation, we have used the required formula. ಸಿಚುಯೇಷನ್ ಏನು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದಾರೋ ಅದರ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಯಾವ ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಬಳಸಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನ ಬಳಸಿಕೊಂಡು ಇದನ್ನು ಸಾಲ್ವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಓಕೆ, worked problem number 3. Same problem, I think, as we have worked out problem number 2. X bar is given as 18 and y bar is given as 100. Standard deviation of x 14, standard deviation of y 20 and correlation coefficient 0.8. Find out most probable value of y if x is 70 and most probable value of x if y is given as 90. So this is the problem. Again, we are not directly asked to construct regression equations, but indirectly we need regression equations to find out the probable values as given in the problem. Okay, solution. Given x bar equals to 18, y bar equals to 100, standard deviation of x equals to 14, standard deviation of y equals to 20 and r equals to 8. Regression coefficient y on x, you know all these things. Byx equals to r into, as standard deviation is given, we are using standard deviation formula. So r into standard deviation of y divided by standard deviation of x, 0.8 into 20 by 14, it will be 1.1429. Similarly, regression coefficient of x on y, bxy equals to r into standard deviation of x divided by standard deviation of y, 0.8 into 14 divided by 20, which will be 0.56. Regression equation of y on x. So substitute the values and find out y on x equation. Minus 100 becomes plus 100 when transposed to right hand side. So y equals to 1.1429 into x plus 79.4278. So the final equation is y equals to 79.4278 plus 1.1429x. Similarly, x on y, x minus x bar equals to bxy into y minus y bar. X minus 18 equals to 0.56. bxy is 0.56 into y minus 100. So simplifying this, we will be getting like this. Take minus 18 to right hand side. So it will become plus 18 minus 56 plus 18. So it will be like this, minus 38. Minus value is more. 56 is a larger number. It has minus sign, and 18 is smallest number. Therefore, we have to subtract. Plus and minus are there. So we have to put sign of larger number. Minus 38. X equals to minus 38 plus 0.56y in the formal way. When x equals to 70, what is y, we are asked. So in the place use y on x equation and substitute 70 at the place of x like this. Multiply 1.1429 into and 70, you will get like this. So 159.4278. When you are multiplying 1.1429 into 70, you will get 80 point something. So 80.000 something value will be there. So I have taken only 80 here. And when x equals to 70, y becomes 159.4278. When y is given as 90, what is x? We are asked to find out. So for this, use x on y formula equation. X equals to minus 38 plus 0.56y. In the place of y, substitute 90. Y ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ 90 ಹಾಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. 0.56 into 90, 50.4 plus value. So plus and minus value are there. So 50.4 is a larger number. It has plus sign, and minus 38 is there. We have to subtract to find out x when y is given. When y equals to 90, x becomes 12.4 is the answer. Worked problem number 4. The following data related to marks obtained by 250 students in accountancy and statistics subjects in BCom examination of a university. The data is given like this. Subject mean. Observe here, variance is given. Variance, while learning standard deviation, you might have come across this concept, variance. Accountancy, as in the problem itself, it is given x, mean 54, variance 16. Statistics, y, they have already given, mean 65, variance 25. Correlation coefficient is 0.75. So when variance is given, we have to compute standard deviation. So you know variance equals to square root of standard deviation. Observe here, ಇಂದಿನ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ಗಳಲ್ಲಿ x y ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ಮೀನ್ ಮತ್ತೆ ವೇರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಇರೋ ಜಾಗದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಕೌಂಟೆನ್ಸಿ ಮತ್ತೆ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಥವಾ x ಅಂಡ್ y ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟು ವರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೇರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕೊಡ್ತಿದ್ರು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೀನ್ ಅಂಡ್ ವೇರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಹಾರಿಜಾಂಟಲ್ ಆಗಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದನ್ನ ನೀವು ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು. ಕುರುಡು ಮೆಥಡ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕೊಳಕ್ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. Concentrate on the problem and identify what is given clearly and then proceed. Okay, what is the question here? Obtain two regression equations. Estimate the marks obtained by a student in statistics who secured 50 marks in accountancy. When x is 50, what is y ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಎರಡನೇದು. Estimate the marks obtained by a student in accountancy when marks obtained in statistics are 60. Statistics ಅಂದ್ರೆ y 60 ಆದಾಗ x ಎಷ್ಟು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಓಕೆನಾ? ಸೊಲ್ಯೂಷನ್ given. What are all the things given? X bar 54, mean of accountancy 54, y bar mean of statistics 65, correlation coefficient 0.75, then we know that standard deviation of anything will be equal to square root of variance. So standard deviation of x equals to square root of 16, variance is 16, which is equal to 4. Similarly, standard deviation of y equals to square root of 25 equals to 5. So now you can proceed to solve this and construct the regression equations and estimate the given values when independent variables are given. Okay, like this, when variance is given, you have to compute standard deviation using square root of variance formula. Okay, regression coefficient y on x, byx equals to r into standard deviation of y divided by standard deviation of x, which is equal to 0.75 into 5 by 4. So use calculator and find out, it will be 0.9375. Similarly, find out regression coefficient x on y. Bxy equals to r into correlation coefficient into standard deviation of x divided by standard deviation of y. Substitute the values 0.75, 4 by 5. It will be 0.6. Now it is easier for you to construct two regression equations like this. Y on x, y minus y bar equals to byx into x minus x bar. Y minus 65 equals to 0.9375 byx as computed above, x minus 54. Y bar is 65, x bar is 54. We have substituted. Simplify this. Y minus 65 equals to 0.9375 into x, 0.9375x minus 54 into 0.9375 will be minus 50.625. Take minus 65 to right hand side like this. So 0.9375x, write as it is. So here plus 65 and minus 50.625 is there. So plus and minus ಬಂದಾಗ ಕಳ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು. Therefore plus 14.375. Writing this in y equals to a plus bx formula ಆ ರೀತಿಯಾಗಿ ಬರೆದರೆ ಹೀಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ. Y equals to 14.375 plus 0.9375x. Similarly, construct regression equation x on y. X minus x bar equals to bxy into y minus y bar. Substituting the values like this, we get, simplify that. So 0.6y minus 39. So take minus 54 to right hand side, it will become plus 54. And again plus 54 and minus 39 is there. Plus and minus ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಕಳಿಬೇಕು, ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂಖ್ಯೆ ಚಿಹ್ನೆ ಹಾಕೋಬೇಕು. Plus 0.6y plus 15 is the equation. Writing this in formal way, x equals to 15 plus 0.6y. Now when x equals to 50, marks in accountancy is 50. What is marks in statistics is the question. So use y on x formula. Y equals to 14.375 plus 0.9375x. Substitute 50 in the place of x like this. So multiplying 0.9375 and 50, we get 46.875. Plus is there, add them up, y equals to 61.25. When marks in accountancy are 50, marks in statistics will be 61.25. Similarly, when marks in statistics are 60, what is marks in accountancy is the question. So use y on x, x on y formula for this. X equals to 15 plus 0.6y. Substitute 60 in the place of y. So like this. So it will be 51. When marks in statistics are 60, marks in accountancy will be 51. Okay. Practice yourself. Problems are given. Variable x and y, mean is given, variance is given, coefficient of correlation is given. We have already worked out this under worker problem number 4. So obtain two regression equations. Estimate x when y is given as 160 and estimate y when x equals to 80. Practice yourself, work out this on your own. Answers are given like this. So for y on x is given as y equals to 115.86 plus 0.81x. X on y is given as x equals to minus 28.88 plus 0.64y. and when x is 80, y becomes 180.66, and when y is 160, x becomes 73.52. Work out yourself. Practice problem number 2. From the following data, find the most probable value of x when y is 20 and y when x is 30. Most probable value of y when x is 30 and the coefficient of correlation. Observe here, mean of x series is given, that is x bar. Mean of y series, y bar is given 8. So this is the crucial one. The regression coefficient of x on y is given as minus 1.3. So directly you need not compute regression coefficient. It is given bxy is minus 1.3. Similarly, byx is given as minus 0.65. So directly bxy and byx is given. You need not compute them. Your job is to construct equations and find out the most probable value of x when y is given and y when x is given. Okay, the answers are given like this. Work out on your own. Okay, next. Following results of capital employed and profit earned by a firm in 10 successive years are calculated. Mean is given and standard deviations of both the series are given and correlation coefficient is given. Obtain two regression equations. Estimate the amount of profit to be earned if capital employed is rupees 50,000. Estimate the amount of capital to be employed if profit earned is 20,000 is the question. Answers are given like this. Pause this video and work out on your own. Answer should be like that. Okay. The last concept to be discussed under this session is comparison or relationship between regression and correlation. Regression analysis and correlation analysis are the two important measures which are widely used to study the quantitative relationship between different characteristics. In this case, all these days we discussed about bivariate regression analysis and bivariate correlation. Only two variables we have taken. So multiple correlation and multiple regression analysis is also there. You will be studying them in your higher studies. The correlation coefficient measures the degree of covariance between the variables. You know that. And the regression analysis measures the nature of relationship and interdependence between the variables so that value of dependent variable can be estimated given the value of independent variable. This is how the regression and correlation are related. For estimating the dependent variable when independent variable are given, we need a relationship. That relationship will be provided by correlation. So correlation coefficient is very much essential for regression analysis. Okay, so both are interrelated. In spite of this, both differ on the following lines. So let us observe the differences between correlation and regression. So first difference is correlation analysis studies the closeness of relationship between two or more variables. Closeness, direction, etc. will be studied under correlation analysis. But regression analysis, it measures the extent of change in dependent variable when change in independent variable is given. ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆದಂತೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮೆಜರ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. Second difference, correlation analysis does not imply the causal relationship between the variables. Causal ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರಣ ಸಂಬಂಧ ಅವನ್ನ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ correlation analysis. Whatever may be the quantities given, it will compute correlation. So, but in regression, the causal relationship between variables is studied. ಕಾಸಲ್ ರಿಲೇಶನ್ಶಿಪ್ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆಗಿದ್ದರ ಕಾರಣದಿಂದ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಗುವಂತ ವ್ಯತ್ಯಾಸ ಏನು ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಅಳತೆ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೇವೆ. ಅದರಿಂದಾಗಿ ಕಾಸಲ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಕಾರಣ ಸಂಬಂಧ, ಕಾರಣ ಮತ್ತೆ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. cause and effect relationship anta ಕರಿತೀವಿ. Okay, third one, it studies the mutual dependence of variables, ಪರಸ್ಪರ ಸಂಬಂಧಗಳನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ it studies regression analysis studies functional relationship showing dependence of one variable upon the other. ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆನ್ಸಿಯನ್ನ ಅವಲಂಬನೆಯನ್ನ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಬದಲಾವಣೆ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಪರಿಣಾಮ ಬೀರುತ್ತೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್. ಕಾರ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಯಾವ ರೀತಿ ಅವಲಂಬನೆ ಆಗಿದೆ ಅನ್ನೋದನ್ನ ಮಾತ್ರ ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Correlation has very limited scope of application because it studies only linear relationship between two variables, but regression analysis has very wide scope. It studies both linear and non-linear relationships. Then correlation is symmetrical in the form we can find out R x y, x ಅನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು y ಅನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಕಾರ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬಹುದು, ಅಥವಾ y ಅನ್ನ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದು x ಅನ್ನ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೆದು ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೂ ಕಾರ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಕೋಎಫಿಷಿಯಂಟ್ ಅನ್ನ ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿಯಬಹುದು. ಎರಡು ಸಮ ಆಗಿರ್ತವೆ. rxy equals to ryx, but in case of regression coefficients are not symmetric. They are not equal. bxy is not equal to byx. Both the variables are considered as equal for this study, but in the case of regression they are differentiated as dependent and independent. ಎರಡು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡುತ್ತೆ ಕಾರ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ರಿಗ್ರೆಷನ್ ಅನಾಲಿಸಿಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಎರಡೂ ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಒಂದೇ ರೀತಿ ಅಲ್ಲ. ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಒಂದು ವೇರಿಯೇಬಲ್ ಇಂಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಡಿಪೆಂಡೆಂಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಓಕೆ, seventh difference between the two, it is a relative measure of linear relationship and regression analysis is absolute measure. So coefficient ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ, ಇದು relative measure ಅನ್ನು ಹೇಳುತ್ತೆ. Correlation coefficient is relative measure of linear relationship. Regression analysis is absolute measure of linear relationship. Okay, that ends the session. Okay, that is the end of regression analysis. Thank you for learning from me. ನನ್ನಿಂದ ಕಲ್ತ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ಧನ್ಯವಾದಗಳು. If you are satisfied with my deliberations, discussions, please subscribe, motivate me. If you are subscribing more and more, I will get motivation to do more things like this. ಮುಂದೆ ಇಂಥವೇ ವಿಡಿಯೋಗಳನ್ನು ತಯಾರು ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ನನಗೆ ಪ್ರೋತ್ಸಾಹ ದೊರೆಯುತ್ತೆ. ಚಾನಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಸಬ್ಸ್ಕ್ರೈಬ್ ಮಾಡಿ. Thank you once again. Your Rajesh Rajighatta.